It's Monday afternoon. We've just come back from the hospital, and Mark's booked in for his next knee in mid-October. And whilst we were at the hospital, I got a phone call from the France telecom technician. We knew he'd turn up if we weren't here. It's like we just sort of relaxed and thought, if you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. He turned up. He rung me and said he was here, and I said we're at the hospital. I didn't tell him that we were there as a planned visit to the hospital, so it made it sound like, we'd had to go to hospital. I'm sure he said "oh mad" to me, and I had a conversation with him, which I understood as part of, and I said to him, "Can you do what you need to do outside the house?" And I think that I'm not really sure what he said, and I'm not sure if it was that I need to, do some work in the house or check what I've done in the house, whatever. But anyway, we've come back and plugged in, and we've got internet after 18 days. It's not fast. It's about 7. Is it 7 something? 6.88 download and 0.34 upload. Not fast. But that's okay, because this week apparently our Starlink's dish, whatever you call it, will come. And the thing about that is we can plug it in, and we should be able to plug it in and have it as a temporary thing during the day, and then out through the doors, and then unplug it and bring it in at night until we've worked out where we're going to put it and get someone to actually mount it on the roof of the calf, probably. So that should come this week. So hopefully it is plug and play. Our experience of anything being plug and play is 90% poor, so it may not plug and play. But it's nice having the internet back, because we had no hotspot this morning, and we sat out in the garden and we sat and read, and actually I said to Mark, there is a hotspot out here, so he then, or 4G out here, so then he brought his laptop out and sat out there. It's too hot out there now. It's 26, too hot for me, so I'm indoors. He's indoors as well. So yeah, summer's here today. I don't know whether summer's going to stay. Probably not. I'm not used to this. It's like each morning I get up and think, what shall I put on? And I got very warm this morning, so I had to change after lunch before we went out. So 28 top temperature today, 28 tomorrow, but cloudy, 26, 25, 20, 21, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be in the 20s and the mid-20s mostly. There's storms due on Thursday and Friday, but whatever. So yeah, so that's good. I'm pleased he's having his other knee done. He's still saying that it's not, he doesn't feel that he doesn't feel like it really needs doing. But we sort of worked through the fact that he's fitter than he was last time. He's not getting any younger, and the knee was, in the x-rays, the left knee was as bad as the right knee. So it's best to have it done whilst he's fitter, slimmer, and still the age he is, which isn't young, but it's younger than he will be next year and the year after. So yeah, I'm hoping that obviously that he'll have as good a outcome as he did last time, a speedy recovery, because he did really well last time. So last night was a shock. It was a shock to everybody. I was sitting watching France 24. I started watching at 7:45 because I knew that there was no reason to watch before that. I started watching at about 7:45, and the polls close at 8. And I was quite shocked by that it wasn't a muted response with the I call them exit polls. They're not called that here. I can't remember, but the projection, it wasn't a muted. It was elation, absolute elation. And after about an hour, I sort of had to remind myself, these are still projections. They're not, the count hasn't finished. This is what they think is going to be the outcome. But oh God, it was such a relief, such a relief. I think that when he called the election, there was some anxiety for me. And then we did that first vote, and there was much more anxiety. And I think this week I've probably been carrying anxiety, and it was something I was thinking about a lot during the day yesterday, and just waiting and waiting and waiting. So it was such a relief, and I did cry. It was just amazing. And it was so lovely to see big groups of young people being pleased, because I feel that, a bit like in the UK, that the young get disenfranchised and then they go for something radical, which is worrying, and partly that's because they don't have any memory of anything better. So I was quite pleased to see large groups. I mean, I was looking at cities and everything, but large groups of young people celebrating last night. Really, really pleased. I haven't looked at the nitty-gritty of it. I was watching something earlier and suggesting that Macron won't accept the Prime Minister's resignation, which will be based on we need some weeks of caretaking until the Olympics is over, and then we can get down to the nitty-gritty. Mark talked about the infighting of the left to decide who's going to be Prime Minister, and I said, is it infighting or is it negotiating? Because I'd like to think they're going to negotiate sensibly to come up with whoever they make the Prime Minister. I hope that it doesn't get nasty, but it can't be as ugly as having Marine Le Pen there, and yeah, I've forgotten his name already, Bardella. It can't be, and they were really not happy. The Rassemblement, is it Rassemblement National? They weren't happy. You did it. You made us. You pushed us. You blocked us. You did this. You did that. I'm sure that they could have done similar tactics. I don't think those tactics are, only the Front Populaire could do that. I think they could have done those tactics as well. So really bad losers. A bit like Trump, a bit like Trump. Now, I watched something yesterday. I haven't shared it. If I remember with this, I'll put a link in the description. I watched a really good video from 5 Minute News History. 5 Minute News, renowned psychologist Dr John D Gartner diagnoses Trump's mental illness. And of course, I watched it from my perspective of not being in the Trump camp, and I watched it from my perspective of having been a psychotherapist. It was absolutely fascinating when they start. Well, all of it is a fascinating video. I can't think how long it was now. I'm going to click on it and then it will start, won't it? And then if I can pause it quickly before, because I've got such a slow internet, I'll be able to pause it. Oh, somebody's winding the key in the back of my Mac. Blimey, that's how slow my internet is. That's not opening. Anyway, it was quite long, and but well worth a view. And there was another one. There's another podcast called Shrinking Trump, where they look at Trump's. Both of those. In the one the first one, they talked about malignant narcissism, and it's very, very frightening. And that's what Trump's got. Malignant narcissism, and that he gets off on causing pain and hurt, and will get off on destroying America given a chance. And they talk about how people have been sucked into the Trump cult. So I haven't shared it yet, and I will share it in a link in the description for those that are interested. So I'm astonished that with the European elections a few weeks back, that there was this big shift to the right, and my fear was that there was going to be, another shift to the right here, and there wasn't. And in the UK, there's been a shift to the left, not very left, but there's been a shift to the left, and it's really reassuring that the world's been mad, and the world is mad. And I was just thinking, it's just, carry on being mad, but some good There's been some good outcomes, and I hope for America that there will be a good outcome in November. I know a lot of people are frightened, and I understand why. I absolutely understand why. And what they said in this video that I watched is that they did some tests, and they did some analysis of conversations and speeches from Trump and from Biden. They didn't have a lot of stuff from Biden because he doesn't go out and do all of that rallying and stuff that Trump does. But they analysed the speeches, and what they found was that Biden is aging normally, and you would do, wouldn't you? He's aging normally. And when we age, we all have memory lapses, we all pause, we all wonder what the fuck we're talking about. We all suddenly think, why am I here? That's normal when you're aging. But what they've picked up from Trump is that he's dementing. Not saying it, just so many things I want to say that I won't. You know what I'm thinking. So yeah, so it's it feels good. It feels really good to be back in a world that I understand, back in a world that feels a little less insane. I'm going to say a little less insane because we've yet to see where we're going. We've yet to see what paths are taken by politicians in the UK, politicians here. Somebody commented on Facebook somebody drew me to the comment on Facebook about something to do with Brexit, and I think it might have been I might have been watching Trevor Phillips, I'm not sure, but there's a belief that if somebody from the new party in the UK were to go to Brussels with some requests, that they will be given a good hearing. And I think that's really important, that if there is stuff they want from Brussels, they're going to be received graciously, and probably will be able to negotiate some good stuff, which the Tory party were too arrogant to do. They were just so arrogant about the whole thing. So, that might be good. There might be some stuff that, that the UK needs, that Brussels will give. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to finish my cup of tea and try and get I discombobulated, so I need my combobulation back. That's probably not right, is it? I might watch some telly. I was watching Repair Shop before we went. I might watch that. That's nice. That's a bit like, it's just a nice calming thing to watch. I think I'm going to go and sit and finish my tea and watch that, and then I'll have a good old scoot around the internet tonight when Mark's watching TV, and I don't have to worry about the data usage on my phone. I uploaded the Daybreak video, but there was hardly any birdsong on it. It was just a very long video, and I can't speed it up. I've tried to speed it up in editing, and it's not really, I thought it might be good. It's not really spectacular, so I might just delete it. So this video, so you've had the video of Mark doing the wisteria and then chatting about the potential outcome of our election here in France. So this will be your next one, and I'm going to upload it via the internet. Let's see how quick that is. Okay, bye.